Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mary Payne here, and you guys, we're back. We're back with 90 Day Fiance. We got screwed over by the Super Bowl, but now we're back. Kimberly, it's very good to see you, and I'm very excited to talk to you. Feels like weeks. It feels like weeks.
I know. I really missed you. I'm not sure if you know that I hate Keisha.
I heard,
Um,
I heard that you hated Keisha.
yeah. So on Instagram, I posted a joke comment that your schedule seeing a lot of Keisha, not a lot of Kimberly, and people thought I was serious and sent the messages to Keisha, who was like, "I think she's kidding. I think she likes me." Y'all, do you not know me at all? Come on, people.
Oh,
My mouth gets me in trouble all the time. My sarcasm gets me in trouble. I love Keisha. We've recorded together. I think she's hilarious. I listen to all of your episodes with Keisha. No bad blood here.
so
It's
funny.
mad
Keisha
love.
this morning, she won't hear this because she never listens, but she's so funny. She
She
sent
has to
me.
listen. Okay, now I hate her because I listen to her episodes.
I think she just generally like gets overwhelmed with life and doesn't listen to podcasts. She doesn't
I
listen to her
understand.
own. She doesn't
Yeah,
listen to anyone else.
I understand that.
She is so funny. She sent me a screenshot. Let's see if I could, since I'm going to talk about it, I should pull it up. She sent me a screenshot this morning that somebody put on her podcast, the Libra Lounge with Keisha, a review. And the review said,
Kimberly hates her.
why does Kimberly hate you? No,
No.
it says, what have I been doing all my life? Not knowing about this show. It's so funny. Listen to episode 163. I have to confess, I fell in love with Keisha's sultry voice and turn of phrase and point of view through her frequent guest appearances on another favorite podcast, Pink Shade, with super podcaster, gorgeous gal extraordinaire, and vocal vixen, Mary Payne.
Yes.
What?
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 Vocal vixen.
Vocal
And
vixen.
Keisha is
Oh.
sultry.
Yeah,
This
sultry.
person
Anyway,
is a wordsmith.
this person, Hamino, looks like kimono, but Hamino. Anyway,
Girl
hilarious. So
poet.
she sent me that, and I was like, "That's so funny." But you know how when you screenshot your phone, if you don't, edit it or whatever, it shows you what podcast you're listening to at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so it was mine, and it said Pink Shade with February 8th with Meredith Lynch. And I was like, "Oh, were you listening to my thing with Meredith Lynch? This like the famous TikTok girl." And she goes, "No." I said, "Yes, you are. I can see it on your screen." She goes, "No, I'm never listening." I go, "Okay, well, you don't have to be mean, but it says on the." And she's like, "I never listened to you or anybody." I was like, "Okay, well, according to your phone, you were listening to me."
Like that was a butt listen. I just
Yeah.
accidentally pressed it. I would never listen. Like she's so offended.
No, she was like, she tripled down on it. She
Yeah.
tripled down. So I was like, "Okay, well, did your husband take?" Maybe he was listening. She was like, "No, he only listens to the episodes with me." I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know
You're
what to tell
saying your
you."
phone is lying right now.
Yes. Yes. It's so funny. And so she was like, I think I just like it's the first thing that popped up on her
Yeah.
phone, but she was only just looking at her own reviews. But so funny. So whoever you are that called me a vocal vixen, I apologize that you're disappointed today because I do sound like a frog or I sound like Sheena Shea with a vocal fry.
No,
Yes.
you don't. You sound like a southern beauty
Sick
queen
person.
who was just walked in a parade as the beauty queen of the South and then
Sure.
wore out her voice,
Ooh.
thanking all of her fans.
Oh, love your hair. Hope you win. That's my favorite Date with Dateline t-shirt. I have it in blue and a V-neck.
Oh my gosh, I need a picture.
Yeah, I'll take one. I think maybe I'll put it on tonight to sleep in. I wanted to say something to you also about Anderson windows. Excuse me.
Renewal by Anderson? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So a few weeks ago, there was an episode. Turns out the sun did it. And
Spoiler alert.
spoiler
Someone's gonna
alert.
get so mad. Remember, we're not supposed to do that.
This has been weeks. You've had time to see the episode. So he didn't do it himself. He hired somebody, right? Or did he do it himself?
No, he hired somebody, I think.
He hired somebody. So anyway, it was a whole thing about the window installer, and it was like the window installer, the window. You guys were talking about Anderson Windows. You lived on Mars. I was like,
Is that
it,
not so weird that neither me or Katie, who now lives in Tennessee, and I live in LA, and I think they exist in both places. I've not seen one ad. Apparently they flyer everywhere. Like everyone's like, I constantly get flyers for them. I've never gotten a flyer from them.
I cannot believe this. I was going to ask you, did other people reach out to you be like, what is wrong with you?
Yes.
Anderson Windows is like saying Kleenex. It's
Yes.
like it's a
We had
household
no
word.
idea. No idea. And Katie owns a house. Like I thought maybe they're staying away from me because I rent a shitty
Yeah.
apartment. And they're like, she doesn't need new windows. Her windows are
Yeah.
from the 70s and they're never replacing them. But Katie owns her home. So she should be getting flyers. I don't know what's happening.
We have Anderson Windows in our home
Oh my
currently.
God. Are there any
And
fingerprints in there that might solve a murder?
like on the inside of the glass,
Right.
no, double paned, no. But I do remember when we built our house, my husband was like, "I want those Anderson double pane windows." Like he had researched and found that they were the
Wow.
best ones. So I'm very familiar with Anderson windows.
I'm just shocked. So it's like saying I'm going to Home Depot when you mean like just a home hardware store. It's
Yeah, I got
like,
to get a Kleenex, but you just mean any kind
yeah,
of tissue. Yes.
that's insane.
Or the South, you said you want a Coke, but that means any kind of soft drink.
Okay, that I do not approve of because Sprite is
Sorry.
so different. That's bizarre.
Would you want a Coke? Yes. What kind?
Oh, but
And
why?
then you might say Diet
Wow.
7 Up. Yeah.
I have a lot of questions. Okay.
That's just something that we do. Yeah, so Anderson Windows, I've been meaning for a couple of weeks to bring this up with you. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that we got to the bottom of it.
Yeah, you were not alone at your
Okay.
shop. People were
Okay.
sending me postcards they just got in the mail. They thought like so their phone is listening to them because they're like, now it's all I see. I get ads everywhere and it's in my mailbox. And no,
Yeah.
they're
Okay. Well,
everywhere. I had no idea. I still haven't seen anything.
it's just like how we talk about prisoners and prisoner dating websites so much, but I never get any prisoner dating website ads anywhere. But
I think those
other,
people are lying when they say they got ads for them.
well, I think so too. I think they don't just happen upon them. But I have had a couple of bunkies that said, like, look what just popped up and it's like Iowa State prisons, like TikTok or something.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever see those? And it's the funniest things that inmates said on their like, "Hey girl, if you've got a bad attitude and a big ass, I'm your guy." Like that.
No, I need to
Hilarious.
follow this.
Yeah. It's very funny.
God, I love prisoners. I mean, I don't love the crimes they do, but I love prisoner shows. Can't get
Oh,
enough.
can't get enough. Me either. So speaking of that, you guys still covering Prison Brides over on Pink Shade Prime, along with Love Is Blind. Episodes 1 through 6 are out now. Episode 1 came out here on this free feed yesterday. And next week, episode 7 will be in the free feed. And then 7, 8, 9 will be on Pink Shade Prime on Wednesday because the episodes come out on Wednesday and the recaps are right there with you, right along. So,
Right there. Join, be a bunkie. Come on.
yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be sounding a lot like this when I do those episodes this week, but I only had to skip one day of recording this weekend with this illness. So that was pretty good.
You
I could
power
have skipped
through.
3. Yeah. Don't feel good. Don't feel good. And it's hard to
Sorry.
like be
You look
funny when you
great.
don't feel good.
No, I know.
No,
I
you
have a
don't feel
headache
great.
right now. I'm still being hilarious though. It's just
Oh, okay.
no, I'm saying it as oppressive. Just don't expect much from this episode. She's sick.
Same.
She's sick. I have a headache. It's gonna be great. You can stop
But
listening right now.
we are trying to think of a new thing to do for a moment uh, with Kimberly and Katie and me, our throuple. We're trying to think of a new moment, like a fun Lifetime movie or something to do, but it has to be of the moment. It can't be like something from a long time ago. It's got to be something that's coming up. And what should it be? What
It
should
was
it be?
it has to be something new. I guess moment. It has to be of the moment. It
I
can't be
mean,
something old that we discover. When is Arbor Day? Is there a movie about a tree that kills people? Something like that would be perfect.
um, no, I don't think so. And I don't know because March is pretty booked because I will be in LA. I will be seeing you. I'll be in
Yes.
LA. And we'll definitely do something together there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, what if I come and sit on your little couch with you?
Okay. I'm gonna have to vacuum it. Right now, it has diamond painting beads all over it because
What,
I got obsessed a few weeks ago, and now it's all I want to do.
what's diamond painting?
It's a craft. I skip from craft to craft, and then
Yeah.
I turn them into Etsy businesses, and then I get sick of them, and then I move on to the next craft. And right now, I've been laser focused on diamond painting. It's all
Okay. Can you
It's
explain what diamond painting is? Because I'm
like
thinking of, like, diamond earrings. What?
no, it's like cross stitching, but
Uh-huh.
you have a canvas, and instead of doing stitches to make up an image, you do or like a paint by numbers, you use these little beads. They're called
Okay.
diamonds, but they're also called, like, drills, and it makes up the image. Kinda like
Okay.
pointillism, if you're
Uh-huh.
familiar with you know
Yes.
art.
Yes.
So it makes up the image that you get a sticky canvas. You can order
Uh-huh.
it or make your own sticky canvas with an image on it and little symbols that match to the color of beads. And then you use like a sticky pen thing to place them. It's very tedious, but it's very like laser focused. You can put on Law and Order in the background and just zone out. And
Yeah.
it makes my back and my neck hurt because
Yeah.
the my posture's not great, but I'm obsessed with it. I just did like a huge one that probably had thousands of drills. Now I'm gonna frame it. I'm so excited. You'll see it behind me maybe next.
Okay.
Um, and now I'm doing like little ones like I've been working on getting a perfect A Date with Dateline logo printed,
Yeah.
and then I
Uh-huh.
wanna make one for Katie and one for me, and I think
Okay.
it looks so cute.
Okay. So I'm thinking it's like perler beads, like my kids used to
Yes,
do that. Yeah, and
yes,
you
it's
have to put 'em the little beads on the pegs, and then when you get done, you do, like,
you
the
iron
ironing.
it. It's
Yeah.
exactly like that, except no ironing, and the beads can be, like, shiny or like plastic, and you can do
Uh-huh.
square beads or round beads, and it's very fun. It's very, addictive. Yeah, especially if
Okay.
you have an addictive personality like I do.
Okay. I loved the perler beads. I would love when they would finish with one, and when I get to,
Yeah,
like, the plastic and iron it for them and
yes.
stuff, and then, like, now what do we do with it?
I know, you just have a bunch of, like, little keychains around.
Yeah, not even that, we didn't even poke holes in them. It's kinda
Yeah.
like Shrinky Dinks back in my
Yes.
days, guys.
Oh, I love Shrinky
I
Dinks,
love
yes.
Shrinky Dinks.
Yeah.
Shrinky Dinks, they need to bring those back. Somebody's gonna tell me they're already back. I don't know, I don't have little kids, I don't know.
I loved
Um,
the commercials, like, where you'd watch it Shrinky Dink
yes,
in fast time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would just stick my little face right up to the oven, like, "Is it ready? Is it ready? Why can't we do it in the microwave?"
I know.
I, speaking of, kids, I went to my 18-year-old son's last ever basketball game today.
Oh my god.
I've been watching this kid play
I
basketball since he
know.
was 5.
You've been a basketball mom.
I
Like, you
know.
should have, like, a sticker on the back of your car that says basketball mom.
Mhm. That
Oh,
would make
that's
him hate me.
I know.
Um, but yeah, it was 'cause so they played yesterday, and if they won yesterday, they got to play today for the playoffs. And this is rec league, you understand, like, he did play at a much, higher level. He played club, he played AAU, he played for the school, but this has been rec league for the last couple of years, which is like king of the rec league, right? So, because if you're pretty good, then you play rec league, you're great because everybody else plays another sport, and they're just doing it for fun. But not my kid, he's out there like to kill it.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was really kinda sad at the end, they lost to this amazing team, and, um, at the end, so me and the other mom whose husband was the coach walked over, we're like, "You guys had a great game." Of course, they're all just furious, and they're
Yeah.
huge. These guys are all 6 feet tall, "Rah!" And, we're like, "Can we get a team picture?"
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're looking at us like, "Get away from me." But they let us take a team picture, but they were mad. They were mad about it.
God.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you don't
sad.
wanna go out like that, but that is really sad. But you're gonna have a lot more free time now.
I mean, it didn't take up that much time, but, I just like to go and, like, watch it, like, 'cause I never liked basketball before he
No, but
played,
it's
but
fun
now I'm
because
like,
you're
yeah,
have a
now I'm
reason to
into
be
it.
invested. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm into it. I'm into, like, the kids on the team. I'm like, "What's that kid's name? Go Keith!" Like, I didn't, I don't know him,
Aw.
Oh, man, this other kid on the other team today, he didn't miss a three-pointer, man. He didn't miss. He was this little kid, like a little guy, probably a solid foot shorter than my kid, little scrawny kid, but he did not miss a three-pointer. I was like, "I don't know where his mom is, but I wanna be like, 'Look at your kid, man. Look at him. Wow.'"
Get him in the
Just
NBA.
just sinking him. No, no way, this kid was tiny.
Well,
I was
there
like,
has
"But
is
he
there
honed his one skill, man, and
is
he
there
he could."
anyone under 6 feet in the NBA?
Oh, yeah, remember, Spuds McKenzie?
No. Isn't
Okay.
that the dog?
Yeah, that was the dog. But there was a player whose name was Spud also, who was little.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Little
Spuds
baby
McKenzie was the
potato.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Little did you say
definitely
baby Gino?
I said little baby potato,
Oh.
AKA Gringo Bonito.
Gringo bonito. I am sorry that this episode is heavy on me today because my voice is terrible. But I wanted to tell you that I had found, let me take my phone out of airplane mode. I did find a good next door for us. But of course, every time you log in and out of next door, it's like a whole process to find it. So give
Yeah.
me a second as I talk.
Sometimes it like wants me to verify when I'm logging in. Like, why does do you need my blood cybersecurity to get into Nextdoor so I can find out whose video
Really?
camera caught teens stealing their Halloween candy?
Weird. All right. So if you are at home and you don't like the music that's about to happen, hide your kids, hide your wife, because here it comes.
Hi, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. What do you know and what do you say?
All right. Here we go. This is from a post from a woman named Danielle, and she's not necessarily in my neighborhood, but neighborhood-ish. And it says, so I received this in the mail today in an envelope with no return address. Has anyone else
Beta
received?
fish?
No, it's not a beta fish. What if it was? Oh
What
my
if
God.
it was?
We would have uncovered something. Has anyone else received a weird letter like this? Also, I looked up the address and whoever Bill Covington is doesn't live at that address. Thanks. Here's the letter. Saturday, January 27th, 2024, typewritten letter.
This is
Okay.
Dateline.
Okay. Miss Olmos, this is her last name, sorry. Olmos, Miss Olmos. This morning, as I do early every Saturday morning, I put on my slippers and a jacket and went outside to get the WSJ, Wall Street Journal, for those of you who aren't as smart
Is
as
that a
Mr.
humble
Covington.
brag? He's humble bragging right now.
Yeah. He gets up early on a Saturday to read the Wall Street Journal, guys.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He could have just said the paper.
He could have just, yeah. I looked all around the driveway, walked up and down the sidewalk, searched the lawn, even checked out into the street. I could not find the newspaper anywhere. A neighbor who was walking her dog watched me as I trudged around the front of my house for a minute or two. I felt a little silly. It was a sad walk back inside. My,
The walk of shame.
my Saturday morning routine is now in disarray. I sat in my easy chair with my steaming hot coffee, but with no fresh newspaper to read. I could
No.
only stare at the wall while I drank it.
How will he move on from this?
I hope you were not ill. Bill Covington, 5429 Broadmoor Street. So Bill Covington sent this letter to Danielle Olmos. Basically, did you steal my paper? Are you my paper person? Are you my paper
Right.
girl?
No, yeah, there's no context. I hope and he
I
took
hope-
the time to type it. But wait, he doesn't live at that address?
So Bill Covington gave us his address, but he is not next door neighbors to Danielle Olmos, who got the letter. So she's like, I don't know who this person is. I actually don't even know where this street is. I don't know who this human is that's left me this letter. She doesn't know Bill Covington of Broadmoor Street. She doesn't live on Broadmoor Street. She doesn't even know where Broadmoor Street is. But this person has left this letter for her, basically
Which he must
accusing
have
her.
driven. So he had to have driven or walked from wherever his street is because he
Yes.
didn't mail it.
No.
So this is one of those classic.
No. I received this in the mail today in an envelope with no return address. Okay.
He mailed it to some. This is one of those you could be curing cancer with that energy. But
Yeah.
this is what you are focused on, Bill.
So the first person says he thinks you stole his newspaper off his porch. And Danielle says, I think so, but it's weird because I don't think he lives at the address that he put on the letter. And this other person writes, I think he's being passive aggressive.
Yeah, I wish you would just come out and say, bitch, did you steal my my Wall Street Journal?
Mark says, well, I too hope that you're not ill. But this is weird, especially if you don't have a paper route. And then Tammy writes, I looked him up and he does live at that address. It's William Covington. And then Daniel says, oh, so maybe he does think I stole his paper.
But again, why would, if she's not his neighbor,
No.
why
really
would,
weird.
does he think she's going around in neighborhoods that are not hers to steal because she needs to know what the stock market is doing?
I don't know. This person says he may just have the wrong name for his paper delivery person. He thinks you're the person who delivers his paper. You could just stop by and talk to him to clear up the misunderstanding. And this person writes back and says he said himself he's a man who reads the Wall Street Journal and enjoys a steaming cup of coffee on Saturday mornings. Clearly, he's a time traveler, but could he be dangerous? Okay, so then this person says, I would send him a letter back saying you appreciate his concern and you're doing and you're doing just fine. Why did he send you this letter? And why did you think he'd take his paper? Why wouldn't he just call his delivery person who may have not delivered it? Normally they'll bring you another copy.
Right.
Maybe he has a substitute delivery person who missed his house. Wonder if he sent this to other neighbors. And finally, who wants the Wall Street Journal anyway?
Go online.
I mean,
I'm sure it's online.
this person's like, he had a lot of time on his hands because he didn't see the Wall Street Journal. He typed it out. Obviously,
call the company. You call, like my mom gets the LA Times. She sometimes doesn't get one. She calls the LA Times and says, I didn't get my paper. She doesn't like track down the home address of the delivery person. That's like stalking.
But he said Miss MS almost OLMOS. Miss almost. So he knows that he knows it's a woman and he knows that's where she lives. This woman is like a woman.
He must know the name, but think she lives somewhere else. There must be two almostes, and he sent it to the wrong one. So he went online and somehow found his delivery person's address, but it's the wrong address.
But they give you the little envelope. Do you know what I mean? So now we go into a long list of comments about foxes because here where we live, the foxes do in fact steal newspapers and things off your porch. That happens a lot.
Build little nests.
They use the paper to build a nest, or sometimes they just take your shoes or whatever they could put in their mouth and run off your porch.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Danielle, after all this stuff about the foxes, she comes back in and says, I definitely think it's a case of mistaken identity. I've never delivered papers ever in my 41 years of life. But I do wonder how and why he got my name and address. And they say, answer the letter and just ask him. We're all curious.
Yeah.
And then the other person's like, that's what I was thinking. How does he have your name? And then drive to you to drop off the letter. And then the other person's like, I don't understand on the tip envelope.
Did he drop it off? So that person thought he dropped it off too. Because we all have reading comprehension lacking.
It says got it in the mail.
Yeah.
But she doesn't say like with a stamp. And then this person says, my thoughts are this. He's accusing you of stealing his Wall Street Journal. Can anyone on Nextdoor confirm that Wall Street Journal would be delivered like the Washington Post? Because I thought it was mailed or online. If it's not delivered to the driveway, that points to a delusional person who is directing their energy towards you. I think it's concerning. And this person writes, according to Google, yes, the Wall Street Journal can be delivered to your door.
On a Sunday.
So this person says, we actually had a young kid on his bicycle race up and steal everyone's morning papers. It really upset the Washington Post delivery lady because then she had to replace everyone's paper. The police were involved, but it ended up a special needs situation and he did it for attention. But it went on for several months.
Oh my God. That poor kid.
I know. And then the other person's like, different situation. Okay. So the funniest thing, this person says, I think he's mistaken you for the delivery person. If he thought you stole it, the comment about you being ill would make no sense. The funny thing is he's using snail mail to make the complaint. He's probably growing cobwebs waiting for you to make good on that missed delivery.
Right. He's like if he finally gets his paper, it's going to be like out of date now.
And then somebody else says, well, I think the animals outside are dragging his paper away to line their sleeping quarters. It always happens to us. And somebody says, yes, this has already been discussed. So get on board with the foxes.
Read the comments before you post.
And this person was like, ignore it. You don't even live in the same area.
No, I say I want to follow through, but I don't think she should go to his house because I've seen many a grumpy old man on Dateline with shotguns who are super paranoid and they will shoot teens who come by their houses. So not many. It's happened like twice on Dateline. But so don't go to his house. Write a letter back, I think is fine.
Yeah.
If only to satisfy our curiosities.
Well, this person starts in on age shaming, and she says, he's an 85-year-old man, and I think this is his way of his asking you if you've seen it or if it was delivered to you. He's not accusing you. Danielle, the original poster, writes, it goes, is he 85? Question mark. Another person says, I agree. It's a different area and a random address. Blame it on age. And then she says, yeah, a woman posted yesterday about her 85-year-old dad's Wall Street Journal going missing. So
What?
I bet I probably should have led with that, but I can see my dad doing this sort of thing when he's elderly. It's odd. And then she writes back, we don't live in the same neighborhood and I don't deliver papers.
So someone else posted that her dad's Wall Street Journal was missing?
I guess so. So the plot thickens. The plot thickens. Now,
You need to find that post and reply to that person. Is your dad Bill? I got this letter.
right.
going
So
on?
I don't have it in me to find that original
No,
post.
this person needs
Oh.
to.
She said she read a post where somebody said their dad was 85 in his Wall Street Journal. But
Right,
by the
so
way,
you
if dad's
can search
85 and he can,
Like comments, so you could probably search Wall Street Journal and find the post.
this person says, the person who delivers my Washington Post and Barron's, excuse me, Barron's, is named Olmos, but he includes a self-addressed envelope before Christmas every year. And if Mr. Covington had ever given him a tip, he would have his address. But I agree, it was probably a fox. So then
So
somebody
this almost is the same. It could be the same person that Bill is trying to reach. He lost the envelope
Right.
with the address, so he somehow looked it up. I don't know how you do that. You usually have to pay in those shady websites to get someone's address, or maybe he knows someone at the DMV or police department.
when if our Washington Post has never not been delivered, of course we know the name of our person, but I don't have it anywhere. I don't have that handy. I just go on the Washington Post website,
Yeah.
find problem with my delivery, and click the
But I
button.
feel like Bill has little like file cabinets with notes on everything, and he has like a little mini drawer that says Washington Post information, or I mean
Mhm.
Wall Street Journal information. He'd pull it
Mhm.
out, and it would have almost his envelope. So he I feel like Bill is very organized.
I think so. And people are saying like don't ignore him because aggressive, passive are the most dangerous people.
Yes, true.
This person says the lady who delivers our newspaper has been sending us letters to inform us that foxes sometimes take newspapers.
She doesn't want to
Um,
be blamed.
this person says, why are you bothering to post this on Nextdoor? And people are like, this is what Nextdoor is all about. Then they fight about Nextdoor for a
It's the
minute.
only thing worth posting on Nextdoor.
Somebody says you should take it to the police station to explain how weird it is.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, it just goes on. And
I need an answer.
yeah. And then this person says, I grew up in the South. This is a letter a very Southern person would do. As others have said, it's an elderly gentleman writing to share a funny story and expressed his well wishes to his newspaper carrier. No, I don't think that's the case. I think he's
No,
passively aggressive, like, where the fuck is my paper?
Yeah. I hope you're not ill, and that's why I haven't gotten my paper.
Hmm. I had to stare at the wall. Other people were like, why didn't he read a book? If he's so
Turn on a
prolific.
TV. He probably doesn't own a TV. He
Mm.
looks down on TVs. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't have a television.
Other people got real saucy about if he's so smart, why didn't he just read a book?
Exactly. You know,
I
he
skipped
has
all
a
that. I
library.
don't like the book shaming, so I skipped all that. I've gotten my husband reading the Robert Galbraith books that are J.K. Rowling, the other Nom
Oh,
de Plume.
uh-huh.
They're really, really good books. They're true crime. They're great. And I'm on like the seventh one or fifth one. I don't know, an odd number. And my husband is now on the second one. And I'm so excited that I got him into like reading a book that I also like.
That's very exciting. I just am mad. I hate her now.
I
Even though
know.
I'm obsessed with Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
hard
very
to
hard to make those two things go in my brain. But I could get into those books. I love it.
They're very good.
And are they all connected? Like,
Yeah. It's all about this one detective.
okay, that
And
sounds fun.
the first story, and then they all just sort of as you go, because it's been a while since I made like a year since I read one, and I was getting that for him. I was like, oh, I didn't realize there's two more, so I grabbed it, and now I'm reading it, and they do kind of reflect back on other stories like, oh yeah, I forgot about that serial killer that they helped catch or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, if I could get them at the library or on
Yes.
Libby for free and not give that bitch my money, I would
Wow.
do it.
Okay. Wow. She's got a lot of money. She doesn't need your money, but I'm sure you can because the books are, they're not brand new anymore.
Yeah.
And there's so many.
Yeah.
The first one is called The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith.
Okay.
So just a little plug, book
I'm
club.
into that. I've been trying to read more because my mom got me a Kindle for Hanukkah.
That's what I read it on.
Yeah.
Kindle. I've never gotten anything for free on my Kindle. I know there's a way to do it.
There
Just pay
is.
for everything.
There's like a membership, a Prime membership or something, and then there's books included on that.
Yes.
And I heard there's a way to download books from the library.
Yes, I've heard that too, but I don't know how.
I think it's on this app called Libby. And then
Did you get the app on your Kindle?
I don't know how it works. I haven't
either.
figured it out yet.
My Kindle's not so great with like if I have to go on Wi-Fi to go to the Amazon store to get a book. It takes a real long time.
Yeah.
Somebody out there, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this show, shall we?
Yeah, we're like an hour in. Let's go.
We've been like talking for 6 hours now. Okay.
We both said, I have a headache, my throat.
I feel like shit.
Let's talk for 4 hours about
I was coming up
today.
I was coming up here to record and I said, I'm recording at 5. And my husband goes, so you'll be done like 7:30? I go, no, probably by 6:30. And he goes, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. We haven't even started yet. Okay. Okay. So 90 Day Fiance, season 10, episode 17. You may now kiss the bride. All right.
Finally,
we get there. Does that mean we're almost at the end? Because the next one will be present you man and wife, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we've got, let's see, Kimberly, we've got, you
No,
and I are going to have something new to talk about soon. We're going to be talking about on March 17th is when Happily Ever After starts.
Are we talking about Happily Ever After?
Mm-hmm.
My least favorite show on television.
Mm-hmm. I know. Well, maybe I'll toggle between you and Katie. Would Katie be interested?
Katie likes it. Yeah.
She does. Okay.
No, I'm fine with it as long as Kalani and Asuelu are not on. They're
not.
The crap out of me. Oh, but I can't do Big Ed.
Right. How about Angela? How do you feel about her? She's on it too.
I can watch Angela. I actually can watch Angela. I just can't watch Big Ed.
Okay. Well, we could do it and just skip him.
Okay.
Because I don't like to give him any attention.
No. He's gross.
Mm-hmm. Good. Less work. Okay. So we're going to start with Justin and Nikki, RIP as of next week. But let's go ahead and let's see what you got.
So she's leaving to go to the airport to fly home. Just Igor is wearing a shirt from the Rebecca and Zied Redbubble collection with her face on the back of it.
That was funny.
That was funny. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
They just had Boom Boom after the engagement party. He got so turned on seeing her auto-tune voice singing that song that they did it. And her coochie is happy and his pee-pee is happy. Her words, not mine.
Okay.
So they go say goodbye to his mom, who's very sweet and gives her jewelry, and it's just adorable. They are leaving on a good note, and they're joking around in the car, and she says, if you cheat on me, I'll cut your dick off. And he says, I know you just love to cut off dicks. How many dicks are you going to cut off in your lifetime for you to be happy? And I don't know if he's making a joke about her being trans, and it's a double entendre, or if it's just they're just being funny.
That did not occur to me.
I mean, if it is, that's hilarious. And she's laughing, like very heartily laughing. So I think she thought it was a double entendre about her being trans.
That went right over my head.
Or am I just imagining that?
No, that would be very clever. As long as she thinks it's funny, I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they go to the airport and there's lots of kissing and like opining about love. And I did not write down specifics because you know what's coming because we've all seen that preview. So it's very hard. Like, what's the point? They're just each going, I love so much. We have work to do, but I love. I did like that cute little pink makeup bag. That was my takeaway from the scene. She has a very cute little pink thing. And then she leaves. And that was literally it. That's all. And then next week, it all goes to hell.
Oh my God. I was hoping I was going to get more of a break.
I know. I'm sorry. But like literally, that's all. I love him. I love her. She's my woman. It's sad when your woman goes away.
Yes. I wanted more minutes, not seconds. That
Yeah.
is it.
That was it.
She is a woman. I
Yeah.
am man. Okay. Jasmine and Gino. Okay. They arrive at the chapel. It's our
Oh.
wedding day.
I'll give you a little break. So
Okay.
I did watch More to Love.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't watch it. I fast forward to
Yeah.
find the extra bonus scene. And there was one that I actually thought should have been in the episode, which never
Oh.
happens. And it was Gino and Jasmine.
Mhm.
And he's planning the wedding down to the minute. Like he has a schedule. He's working on the computer. And it's like, we come out and wave 5 minutes later, cut the cake. This photo is taken, like this speech. It's very organized. And then he shows her the menu. And he says, we have this great chef who cook for the royal family.
Okay. Mhm.
And then she sees the menu and it's like all very fancy and there's some vegan options, but the main course is spaghetti and meatballs, but like fancy.
Yeah.
And she's like, why do you want to have spaghetti and meatballs? I'm vegan. I don't want any animal to suffer in my wedding. And he's like, yeah, but my family is used to eating meat. Like we're Italian. We eat a lot of like meatballs. And she's like, why won't your family just sacrifice one meal? It's my wedding. I'm the bride. And he goes, okay, but I'm the groom. So it's my wedding too. So, you have to make some compromises. And look, do have a vegan option. She's like, should I say thank you that I'll be able to eat something at my own wedding? So they're screaming. He's like, I just think we should have some normal food too. And she's like, being vegan's not normal. And so you're making all the decisions about the wedding and you're doing all this stuff to impress your family. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm putting my foot down. No, I'm not changing it. And she's like, you have this great chef who cooks for the royal family. I'm sure he could come up with something that's vegan and delicious. They wouldn't even know it's vegan. And then she just gives Coco a kiss and she storms out of the house. And then there's no resolution. And the next scene we see, they're meeting the family at the restaurant because this was in last week's episode.
Oh, okay. So we don't know what they ate at the wedding, nor do we care.
No.
Okay. I will tell you that I loved while you were doing that dramatic reading. When you did Jasmine, you would pull the microphone away from your mouth. So it sounded like Jasmine was in another room, and then you would come back. Yeah.
Because I know she can be quite loud.
Kimberly's holding her microphone today. She was having a problem with her stand.
Yeah.
Your stand was like a limp penis. Every time she would put the mic in the stand, they would go, ooh. It would just deflate. It was sad.
But I did take a photo of the schedule and the menu in case you wanted to see it.
I'm okay.
Okay, good.
I don't care if I ever see them again, actually. Okay. So they arrive at the chapel. It's our wedding day. Woo! And he's all like, no. And he says it's been 3 years of dating, 18 months waiting on the K-1 visa. Gino is looking at his hat. He's got a backup hat. He shows both hats to cousin Dana.
Identical. Almost identical hat.
Yes. And Coco jumps out of her stroller, which was all we needed to know about Coco. Coco doesn't need that stroller.
How cute is Dana with Coco? Like I'm shipping Dana and Coco, not romantically, but I think we need Coco out of that toxic household and get Coco to live with Dana because Dana and they seem to have a bond.
Yes. Maybe Dana can get Coco not to poop.
Calm energy.
Yeah, maybe so. God. So all his family is there, and Uncle Marco is going to walk Jasmine down the aisle.
Yay, Uncle Marco.
Uncle Marco.
I missed him.
In the talking head, Uncle Marco says, Gino had a crazy ass idea, and I didn't agree in the beginning. I thought it was nuts. But now I've seen him, and I've seen her heart and how much he cares about her. It's beautiful. Okay. So Jasmine is at home getting ready, and she has her hair like in this low bun with her veil, and it looks great.
Yeah.
It's a great look. Because I know she's had some alopecia. She's had problems with her hair, but she just slicks it back, like parts it down the middle and slicks it back straight. I mean,
it looks
incredible.
Great.
Looks great. So she says, she can't wait to hear Gino's vows. She goes, because Gino is special, and I don't know what he's going to say. And then she shows the makeup artist how she will step on his foot with her heel if he doesn't cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any good wedding has some violence in it.
That's right. And she says she wants to call her sister and her mom and everything. So, her sister is of the girl, a girl. And hey, girl. She loves to say girl. So Jasmine's crying and she says, girl. Don't cry, girl. Today you look beautiful and divine. And even if I'm not there, girl, I'm crying a river for you, girl. So she says, okay, girl. So she gets her dress on. She looks incredible. It's not too like just like two basketballs with like little triangles on top. Like it looks respectful. It looks nice. She looks nice.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I couldn't stop looking at the boobs. I was like, they are just held up by God and silicone.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
anti-gravity going on.
yeah. It's like
Strapless,
on
it's a magic.
It's like on Love is Blind when they ask AD how does she get her ass like that? And she says, Jesus and squats. So I've got Jesus. I don't have squats. So I'm out of luck. So, okay. So then Gino gets her sisters and her mom on the video outside, which I guess was a surprise. She didn't know that. And Uncle Marco comes in and Jasmine's like, I'm so grateful. You're going to walk me down the aisle. And Jasmine says she never had a father figure ever. She never had the feeling of love and protection from a father. And Marco is the best, and he's a father figure to Gino, and she feels so blessed. I think if we knew that Jasmine had never had any father figure at all in her life ever, that would have been good information to have about 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it all fits into place. That's how they should introduce these people.
Yes.
You're going to see some crazy behavior, daddy issues. And
Here
you're
are
like,
the issues
oh,
they
okay,
have. Yes.
I get it. But also, she's so freaking cute with Marco. She goes, hello, Mr. President. There are no ugly people in this family.
Now, that was nice of her to say. I'm going to leave it at that because, okay. All right. So she comes out and it's lovely. And like, Gino's trying to like shield his face. Like you said, cousin Dana is holding Coco.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I see the laptop and I know what it means. And I can feel the love from Panama all the way to Michigan. So as she walks up, Gino's like, wow, baby. Oh my God, you're gorgeous. Oh, look at those boobs. Wow.
It's like he's like designer on Project Runway, and like his design is walking down the aisle. It's just so weird.
Oh my God. I would have never put those two shows together in my mind. So she walks up, she looks great. So that literally, this is right. They get married and they're super excited. And the crowd chants, Gino, Gino, Gino. And then as they're walking down, they're like, Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine. Woo. So they go into the reception and then we see
Wait,
Tony.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What when they are announced man and wife and they get to kiss.
Yeah.
Gino makes this hand gesture. He's like a little girl meeting Minnie Mouse at Disneyland for the first time. It's
Okay.
like
Oh, yes, he does that. He puts balls up his fist and then bends his arms at the elbow like he's about to do a cheer. Woo! But he bends it like this, like he's about to do it. And then he shakes his hand side to side. Yeah. Yes. He's
special.
He's done that before and he is special. But he's done that before. He's like, yeah. Like he's 4 years old. Yeah. Oh God, bless him. Okay.
It works for them. She thinks it's sexy. Good for them. Sure
she does. So they go into the reception and Tony, that's his brother, Tony, and Laurie, his wife, say, we were skeptical at first, but now we know her. We think she fits right in. And so then we see Jasmine is wearing like somebody's blazer, but it's not Gino's because he's got on his blazer. So somebody has loaned her a blazer.
Yeah, it felt like it had shoulder pads.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a man's coat that she was like, I'm cold, and somebody gave it to her, but not her husband. And they say they have one more announcement. Go ahead and say it. They're going to start working on a baby. Yay.
I think that's a weird announcement to make.
I think that's TMI at the reception.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Like, unless they're just like, give us another season. We're going to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They need to go to couples therapy season first.
That poor child.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the baby before it's even born.
So then they're taking pictures and Gino's just so awkward. Of course, she's posing. And then finally she was like, will you take one picture without the hat? And he goes, no. She goes, please, oh baby, my gringo bonito. And so he says, okay. And he does it. And I have to tell you, he looks completely fine without a hat. He has a very weird tan line around his head, but he looks completely fine.
I think he looks better. No hat, no hair, no problem. Like, Gino, I don't know why you're so self-conscious.
I don't either. It's just shave it and go with it and make your head the same color as the rest of your face.
Yeah, you look
Because
fine.
you look fine. Okay. That's my thought on that. All right. It's your turn again
I
to
can't
barely
believe he let us all see it though in all its glory.
Well, you're right. I mean, he's only done it before on accident, like when he
On
had to go through like
accident.
TSA pre-check and stuff.
And when
Yeah.
they were fighting and she flipped that hat off his head.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
But
She's-
she likes it. I think
She
she
likes
likes to like rub her boobies on it. I bet when they're like
or pee on it.
or
I'm sorry. All right, let's go on to Anali and Clayton.
Oh my God, this was dramatic. So it is 7.5 hours to the wedding. It's always bad when we're now in hours.
Yeah.
You know it's bad. It's like 24.
Yeah.
You hear the ticking clock. So she calls her mom. She tells her about the fight with Clayton. So now I realize that everyone in her family knows about this wedding to Clayton except her dad. And this is so sus. There's something very fishy here. Like, is the dad in prison? Are they in witness protection to stay away from the dad? Does the dad even exist? Is the dad the Zodiac killer? Like, what is going on? Why does everyone in the family know?
But so that when they made up and she posted on social media about him being the love of her life, she didn't also tell the dad, or she thought that was her announcement, but dad doesn't have social media?
I think dad doesn't have social media, or she somehow blocked him so he won't see it, because there was no follow-up to that story ever. And her dad is supposedly this very overprotective, scary person.
Mm-hmm.
So is the rest of the family not in contact with the dad, or they're just all hush hush and keeping it a secret? I don't understand.
It's all unclear.
Yeah, very mysterious. So she tells her mom, maybe I should just leave and not talk to Clayton anymore. I don't want to live like this. And mom tells her, all couples fight. Don't throw away your 2-year relationship. And then I was kind of mad at the mom, because if I was the mom, I mean, I have no maternal instinct whatsoever except to animals, but I would probably be like, why are you with this man who's making you cry on your wedding day? Let me, like, not
Yeah.
encouraging her to stick with it unless your daughter gets in fights all the time, so she's just a little
Right.
dramatic. It's gonna be fine. They'll
Right.
make
Maybe it's like Ashley's family and they've just learned to deal with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but part of me was like, leave, daughter, come home, get away from him and his weird gerbil noises,
Yeah.
It's very weird. I have to say my mindset has kind of flipped though. I was on her side about the fight about the stripper,
Yeah.
even though he said he didn't want her to do that specifically, and then she did it, which I don't
Yeah.
think is cool, but I do kind of think he overreacted. But because he had serial killer eyes, he still stayed very calm when he was telling her. But this is like the third time he's tried to talk to her about something serious, and she takes it as a personal attack and she runs away. She threatens to fly home, or she goes to cry in the bathroom. And it's like, to be in a marriage, you have to have conversations and
Yeah.
criticism and fights and discussions. She's
Yeah.
never willing to have a discussion. She just runs away. And
Yeah.
so I don't love that, even though he has serial killer eyes when he was telling her
And
that.
he makes guinea pig noises even while exercising.
Cheeky, cheeky. So now it's 5.5 hours to the wedding, and he's wondering why she blew up out of nowhere. And I was like, well, no, she did. He was very calm. I'm still very torn on the whole thing.
I am
So
too.
I'm on neither of their sides, I think is what it is.
Okay.
I think there's something a little weird about him and makes me uncomfortable, but I
Mhm.
also don't like how she can't even have a conversation.
And
So
also, why is he so mad at her? Why isn't he more mad at his sister? She's the one that
exactly.
arranged it.
Yeah. So they're in the same house, but they're not going to see each other because of tradition, because it's the day of the wedding. So he's just texting her, I love you, guinea pig kiss, cheeky, cheeky. And she sends her this voice memo. And then he's like, I don't know if I don't hear back from her. My mind is going like a hamster wheel. His spirit animal is a rodent. Like, he's way too connected with rodents at all times.
Yep.
So he goes to Cameron and he says, I didn't sleep much last night because the guinea pigs were fighting. I thought they had settled down because he said that the first night they were a little upset, but then they got more comfortable. And
Do
then
they have to bring that whole setup with
Yeah.
them? They have to bring all of those
He wants
cages
them
and those
to be
mazes and things?
he wants them to be comfortable, Mary
I
Payne. They
guess.
can't
I
just sit in
guess.
a little cage.
I guess
They're
so.
his children.
Yeah.
So he's worried because Annalie hasn't opened his voice memo. And so I think you should have Cameron go talk to her because I think her and Cameron have a better relationship than her and Clayton.
He doesn't
So
speak Spanish, though.
he does a little. He's learned like the basic phrases.
I mean, un poquito. Come on
They
now.
could use a phone, and he
True.
seems to like Cameron. I'm shipping them. Like,
Okay.
get
All right.
rid of Clayton.
All right.
So at the chapel, they have a chair reserved for Clayton's brother who died in a car accident a few years ago. And then another puzzle piece into the odd family dynamics betwixt him and his mom and Brandy kind of fall into place.
Yep.
Information that would have been helpful at the beginning.
Yep.
So their family dynamics are fascinating to me. So, and then Clayton, it's very touching. Clayton starts crying because he misses his brother and he's so stressed. And Cameron is comforting him. Cameron is the standout MVP of this whole season, I have to say.
I could totally agree with you on that.
Yeah. So then Annalie's mom messages Clayton, and it's probably done through voice text, so it doesn't totally make sense because the translation's not good. And it says, like, I heard you're mad about the bachelorette party. I don't want you to complain to her every day. So I'm glad she's like sticking up for Annalie.
Okay.
But this is all weird to do right before the wedding, and it's strange. But I'm glad she's sticking up for her daughter. I think she's trying to say, like, you got to let go and you can't like harp on her all the time for the rest of her life.
But why would it have to be translated? Because he speaks Spanish. So the mom could have written to him exactly what she meant in Spanish.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So I don't know. And I didn't get that from it at all. I got it to
Or
mean
maybe
like,
he's translating it. Maybe she wrote it in Spanish and he's translating it to Cameron.
I thought she was saying like, my daughter complains. But she was saying to him, like, you don't need to complain about it, about the stripper. Like, let it go.
I don't know. You think she was complaining about Annalie complaining?
Yes. I think she was like, I know my daughter complains a lot.
Oh, interesting.
But again, I was only watching with one eyeball because I don't take notes on this couple.
Yeah,
So I was only
yeah.
like half listening. I was probably playing Wordle or something.
Well, he didn't really seem to know what it meant either.
No, he didn't.
He's like, I don't know what she means by this, but I know our relationship's not in a good place. So the wedding is now in 4 hours, and they cut to Cameron's face, and it's that Curb Your Enthusiasm music. And he's like, I have to hang out with him for 4 more hours. We don't have our video games here. This is very awkward. And I signed up to be real life best friends instead of computer friends. I thought there would be video games involved. So then 1 hour to the wedding, and Cameron is helping Clayton get dressed by telling him to adjust his fly. Because they have this bromance, fix your fly, and they're like joking around. And Annalie has still not opened the text. Has opened the text but hasn't written back. And Cameron goes, "That's actually worse." Like, I love Cameron.
What I didn't understand is that
that's bad.
Neither one of these guys are wearing ties. They're wearing full suits and button the shirt all the way up, but no tie.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to wear a tie, don't button it all the way to the top. Because then it just looks like you're missing. If you just leave that button undone, it looks like you're having a casual look.
Casual, yeah. I was very confused about the dress code at this wedding because some of the women are dressed very nice and the men are in jeans with backward baseball hats. And I was just, maybe in different parts of the country that can fly, that would not fly here. Even if it's like casual. Casual means like khakis. Like not jeans and backward baseball hat.
No, there was a woman in the front row in a camouflage t-shirt dress.
Yeah.
I mean, no shade, but I mean, for a wedding. But then the sister is Brandy, right? That's her name, Brandy?
Yes.
So, but Brandy is like fully in a beautiful bridesmaid's dress.
This is such a glow up compared to when we first met her. She looked all drunk and haggard.
She looks. The question is, if she's the bridesmaid and she's in her dress, she's got her flowers, everything, are we to assume she has not even spoken to the bride?
Yeah. No, there was no connection there.
She just
Yeah.
got dressed at home and then
Yeah.
showed up like that? Like,
Yeah,
that
we
made
don't
no
know, like,
sense.
who's doing Annalise makeup and hair, who's helping her get dressed. She's doing it all alone. That's very sad.
I don't think that's true. I think that they cut this to make it seem like that, and
Seem
they're
like that.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very weird. So Clayton is like, okay, worst case scenario, she doesn't show up. I'm standing there in front of everybody. What do I do? And Cameron goes, you cry. I mean, that's just the worst thing that could possibly happen in the world.
Cameron,
You'd probably die.
Cameron, you're not helping, bud. You're not helping, bud.
So now it's 30 minutes to the wedding, and Mama Clayton comes in to see Clayton, and she's like, oh, I'm sure Annalie is just getting dressed, and she's just busy. That's why she hasn't written you back. But then she kind of gives a gym office look to Cameron, and then like, oh my God, she hasn't written back.
Cameron's like, I've already told him this is the worst thing that's ever going to happen to him in his entire
Die.
life.
He's going to die.
Yeah.
So now they're at the altar. Everyone is there except for Annalie. And Brandy is like, okay, so we're now past the time of the wedding was supposed to start. So that means she's late and she's not here. Your bride is not here. Just a reminder. I'm just reminding. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm standing at the altar and everyone is staring at me awkwardly. Like, get it. And so they're just standing there, and then she gets her little interview, Brandy, and she starts crying because she's so invested in her brother's life.
Yeah.
And she also planned this whole damn thing. Like,
and also she's the reason the wedding might be canceled because she got the stripper.
she got the stripper. There's a lot of fraught emotions with Brandy. Also, I think part of her is like, I Googled where to find a llama, for God's sakes. Don't call off this wedding, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, also she does carry a lot of guilt with Clayton, so I think she would be devastated if she was the reason. I mean, she wouldn't really be the reason, but she would feel like she was the reason, and she
had a good time with that stripper, so she don't care.
So Cameron starts rubbing Clayton's shoulder to comfort him, and then Clayton starts rubbing his mom's shoulder, and it's like a massage train, like in elementary school. It was very cute, and it's now half an hour past when the wedding is supposed to start. And he says, should I make an announcement to everybody? Like, and I was like, I don't think you have to, because literally everyone is sitting there and now they're not making eye contact with you. So they're trying very hard to just look down. And
why are they standing there? Why are they standing there if they don't even know if she's coming out? It seems like they would be in another room and there would be somebody in charge that would be like, okay, she's here. Now you guys walk in. The music's your turn. But this
I don't
is
think
very
they have like a wedding coordinator or something. That
is there music? Why they're all just? I don't believe that they're all just standing there like that.
I think it could be Matt Sharp just editing, like you said, and it is probably going to be fine. And she's going to show up magically, even though we just saw her at the house with no makeup and no dress on. She's going to just show up and it's going to be fine.
Yes, I think so.
But it was a good fake out, if that's true. It was one of their best. So this was like when What's-Her-Face showed up. What was her name? Lana? Was it Lana? Lana and David. When she was real, that was crazy.
Yes, that was crazy. That was a very, very good 90-day secret.
Yeah. So maybe that's what this is going to be. No idea. He's been posting pictures without her. Next week's preview also is very mysterious. Like, she's not coming. So, I mean, I hope she doesn't come. I hope they break up. They should not be together.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
No, I wish the best for both of them separately.
Okay. Not together. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Citra and Sam. So they're going to get ready separately for the American wedding that they're having because they've already had the Muslim ceremony. So he tells them how an American wedding goes. He's kind of giving them the lowdown. And Dad says, well, we've already done that at the mosque. And Herman told Citra to tell him, we're not doing it with the pastor because we're not Christian. And Citra's like, well, this is who's doing it. It's the only person we could find to be an officiant. And Dad says, no, I won't allow another holy book other than the Quran. So they're like, oh, okay. Well, that puts a wrinkle in things. So then we see.
Can a pastor do like a non-denominational, non-religious ceremony?
I'm sure a pastor could, but
But it would
that's
maybe if he, but then they also keep calling him a priest. So I was like, is he wearing the thing with the
no.
collar? No.
I think they're just using the words interchangeably because they
Okay.
don't know. Yeah. So he's a
He's a
man of
product.
private.
He's a product of his mom, who thinks Jews and Christians and
All the same.
Muslims celebrate Yom Kippur. It's fine.
It's all the same. So now we see Citra getting ready, and Nanda or Nafa, I don't know, one of them, one of the evil stepsisters says, um, Dad is very upset about a pastor marrying you, and he doesn't want people in Indonesia to think that you're having a Christian wedding. So then we see Sam's brother Tim, who later marries Nafa, I believe.
Yeah, which means they've already met probably, and we're not going to get to see their meet cute.
Yeah, I mean, I think they met cute in the kitchen at that weird every beige food dinner.
Oh,
That's the first time they met, I think.
I didn't get to see, it didn't register with me as
No.
meet cute.
Well, that's it.
That was it.
They met cute over some mac and cheese.
Life
That's
is
it.
not a Meg Ryan movie.
No, it's not, girl. So,
Girl.
no, girl.
Girl.
So, Tim is helping Sam get ready, and Sam says, like, I have an hour to find somebody to marry us. And Tim goes, what about Luke? He can marry you. He got his online certification. And they're like, what? Luke's his brother. Luke's the best looking of the three brothers. And how come we
set up by production?
I don't know, but it seemed pretty fake. So Sam goes, how did I not know that Luke can marry people? And then he goes, I don't know. I mean, Luke's kind of a goofball, but hopefully he's up for the challenge. I don't think you need to be casting judgment on anybody, Sam.
No,
So
beggars can't be choosers.
So Sam goes out, and this seemed extremely set up and fake. He goes out and he's like, Luke. So Luke is in a suit who looks very nice, but again, backwards baseball hat.
His best formal wear backwards baseball hat.
Yeah, but he looked nice in the suit. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
So he goes out to talk to Luke.
He doesn't have the shockingly small chin that Tim and Sam and the dad have.
Right. No, he doesn't.
Maybe he's from a different.
He could be, but
sibling.
Maybe he's taking better care of his chompers. I don't know. So Sam goes out to talk to him, and he goes, listen, we can't have the pastor that's coming marry us. So like, what should we do? And Luke goes, oh, goodness. That's what he said. Oh, goodness. But he says, yes, he'll be happy to help. So that was very set up because there's like 6 people sitting there waiting for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs out and he's like, who can marry this man and this woman? I can. I'm Luke. It's very fake. So,
but I loved it.
So now Pastor Dan comes, and Sam's back there getting ready. And Sam has to tell Pastor Dan there's a slight issue. And I'm sure that pastor was like, okay, well, good luck. I'm sure that pastor was like, am I still getting paid? Because the pastors get paid.
I literally was like, I hope they still paid him. I also wrote, I never thought I'd see someone fire a pastor on this show. And then right as I wrote that, Sam goes, I never thought that I would have to fire a pastor.
That is funny. I just like, I hope he got paid. I hope they gave him the $250 or whatever.
I hope they still paid the guy.
Yeah. So Herman comes in, and Herman meets brother Tim. And then Sam explains to Herman that his brother Luke has a license to do this, and he can do the wedding, and it's the best solution. Herman says, okay, I agree. And I'm glad that your brother can help. And then they hug, and they, that's his best friend in the whole world is Herman. Don't forget.
And Herman's wearing like a 70s patterned shirt.
I liked it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Style.
So the evil stepsisters, as they usually do, sit on the bed clinging to one another. They're always clinging to each other.
Who is in her the middle of her zombie transition, who is going through the longest case of jet lag ever because they've been there for like at least a week. She was asleep in the car on the way to this ceremony. I don't know if you noticed because she's like literally transforming before our eyes, but she's woken up for the ceremony, and I'm very proud of her because I know that's hard to do when you're being zombified.
She's very sleepy, but I think she's the one that marries Tim.
So she just doesn't even know. She was probably asleep when she married him. She's just like, I woke up and I was also married to another guy here. I don't know. He has no chin. It's fine. It's cute. She just goes with the flow. How is she so tired all the time? I understand they flew from somewhere else.
Oh
But
my
they've been
God.
there for a long time now.
Sorry, I'm crying.
Always asleep.
Oh my
Also, they
God.
talked about farts again in the car. We've not had one episode where, and you skip it every time because you don't want to talk about it, but we have
I
not
skipped
had
it.
one episode where Citra mentions how gassy she is.
Oh my God. She needs some Gas X.
I know.
Oh
Girl,
my
I feel
God.
you.
Girl.
I have the same issue.
Oh my God. So the evil stepsisters are clinging to each other on the bed and they're telling her, like, you look gorgeous. The dress looks great. Dad comes in and was like, oh my gosh, you look like Cinderella. And then we do have a sad moment where Citra says she and her dad became best friends when her mom passed away. But still, even though dad is there, it's very hard. And she cries. And I don't know if you remember, this is a callback to Seeking Sister Wife, the first season where we saw Sidian and Tanya. I think that's her name. But
It's something
she,
like that.
the wife, Sidian's wife, oh, it's going to kill me. Sidian's wife, she, when they were asking her about getting another wife, she was like, everything is fine. It's so great. I just want to support Sidian. And her face was betraying her. And
Yes.
she was crying and laughing at the same time. And she didn't know what to do because she was saying her lines about how much she loved Sidian and loved that he was marrying another woman. But
Tasha.
Tasha, thank you. But then her face would turn down and then it would turn back up all at the same time.
Uh-huh.
That's very similar to what was happening here with Citra talking about her mom passing away. She was like, oh, she was smiling and then frowning and then telling the camera, like, go away. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh gosh, I Googled him and now there's like this article why Seeking Sister Wife Sidian's ex-wife is calling out the relationship after years of silence. His ex-wife Jenny is ready to speak out about her tumultuous relationship.
Yeah, well, Jenny
Doesn't
left.
Amy Archer like love Sidian?
She just interviewed him.
Oh my
She
god.
loves him.
He
Loves.
gives me the willies.
Okay, well, that's interesting because he had a child with a wife. Then I think he got divorced, and then he
Two.
had then
Oh,
he had two. Oh,
sorry.
then he had two children with a second wife, and then they called in a sister wife, which was Tasha.
So
The-
he's had 3 and is looking for his
So
4th.
wife number 2 left after
So
Tasha, and
wife
Tasha
number
and
2 is
kept all 3
parents
kids.
of those boys that they have. But
I
there was one,
believe,
I didn't know there was one before that wife.
yes,
Oh.
he has a
And he's
child
so
with wife
young.
number 1,
Isn't he
then
like
had
30?
2 children with wife number 2. Wife number 2 left, and Tasha stayed on. But I believe wife of the first child still sees that child, but wife number 2 that had the second 2 children never saw those kids, and Tasha was raising them. Somebody, Amy Archer, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's about the story. So I wonder which wife this is that's coming forward.
This is shocking.
Shocking
That's
information.
too many wives at that
Well,
age, in my opinion. I'm
He
gonna
might
be
be
judgmental.
40. He might be
Okay,
40.
maybe he's 40. Please let him be 40. Because otherwise, this is like Ross on Friends when he's like realizing how many times he's been divorced.
Speaking of friends, we're about to get there. So okay, so she cries about her mom. Says her mom was a wonderful person. She was so nice. She was always there for her. She's very sad. She's not there at the wedding, but of course she's glad that the dad, and the evil stepsisters are there.
I can't imagine that dad suddenly becoming a widower and having 3 daughters to raise.
Especially 2 of them are so bitchy.
One of them has narcolepsy. She's always asleep.
Oh my God. Okay. So in the talking head, Citra and Sam
Sorry,
are
I know someone is going to write us a letter that has narcolepsy. Apologies.
Citra and Sam are sitting there, and in the talking head, and Citra goes, I think it's great that Luke could marry us. It's just like on American television when Joey married Chandler on Friends.
I love her. She's
I
always
love her.
referencing either horror movies or
Friends.
standard for Friends. Yeah.
And he just rolled his eyes like this
I
chick.
think it's
All
so
right.
cute.
So dad walks Citra down the aisle, and the 2 sisters come out and stands near Sam and Tim. And as she walks
They're
up, Tim
propping up
goes,
that one. She doesn't
"Huh,
fall
what?"
over. They're propping up that one. She doesn't fall over.
She walks up and Tim goes, "Well, oh shit, you look beautiful, babe." And then he's like, "I can't wait for tonight." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before the wedding starts, he's like, "Hold on a second, Luke." Luke, who's like pulled up something, got some Wi-Fi and pulled up some
Yeah.
vows. He gets on his knee and tells her like he never did it the right way when they were in Indonesia. And he says, "Will you marry me, baby?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm here."
I love it.
And he stands up and he tries to kiss her. And she goes, "Okay, not yet." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So Luke does the vows. They say, "Yes, I do.
Well,
Yes, I
I was
do."
really hoping Luke would take off that backwards baseball hat now that he's an officiant and not just a guest.
I don't know what show
But
you think you're watching.
nay.
No, but nay. So Sam says it was great to kiss her because normally she's bobbing and weaving and dodging him
Wait, do we really think that was their first kiss?
on the mouth.
Yeah. Stop, Mary.
No,
It was pretty awkward, which makes me
yeah,
think maybe it was, and like the Duggars don't kiss before weddings
yeah,
usually.
uh-huh.
So, but we thought that they had been doing it this whole time. So I'm just
Yeah,
not.
I
What
mean,
do we think? Not that it's
there's a
any of our business, but
well, they're on TV and they talk about it, so it's our business. I think that I think there's a lot of sexual chemistry between them, so that's why I thought they'd been doing it the whole time.
yeah. Or is it just built up sexual chemistry because they've
Yeah,
actually been following the rules?
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. So Sam says it was great to kiss her because normally she's bobbing and weaving and dodging him. And he says every day being apart from her and only seeing part of her face on a screen was terrible. But now they're here and they're married. Okay, now we see Dee Dee. So Dee Dee has attended the wedding. That's the mom. And she tells him, she goes, "Listen, I'm glad I was here to see this and everything, even though she's like Jewish or something. Um, and now you're a different religion. And I was going to come to that other ceremony at that place that shall not be named.
You
But
know, the Kwanzaa ceremony with the Islams who don't wipe their butts? I was
yeah,
gonna come on the Holy Bible. I was
but
gonna come.
grandma got ill." And he just looks at her and goes, "Mm-hmm." And she goes, "I swear on Jesus and the Bible." And he was like, "Okay, we've already discussed you're a
Yeah,
fair weather
we
Christian, so
know you're
stop."
Christian, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, but I do believe that grandma got ill. That grandma looked like she was barely holding on.
Maybe she fell because there's no furniture in the house.
We wish
So
nothing but the best for the grandma.
that's correct.
But it
Now,
would have been really beautiful if the mom had shown up.
at the mosque,
Yeah. Or
yeah,
maybe she would have just been a distraction.
I think it would have been distracting. What are they doing over there?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
brought
they
you
talk.
toilet paper as a gift because I know you don't use it.
Citra says, as they're sitting there in the talking head, she goes, "I know what he's thinking." They're talking about the blue balls and whatnot. And then she says, like, she's getting nervous. She's never done it. And he goes, "Special day and special night, explore each other." Even though I hate that term, make the magic happen.
We hate it too. Why did you say it, Sam?
Ew, it was gross.
Explore each. It's like when Dateline says lovers.
Ew, what about on all the, we're getting Seeking Sister Wife is coming back. We're going to hear a lot about intimacy.
Oh God. Let's go steam our vaginas together.
Okay, last couple if my voice can make it. Sophie and Robert, 5 days to wed. They're working out. She says they're getting along. What they're doing is just avoiding all their problems, so they're not fighting.
Great.
She's getting That's the way to do it. She's getting excited for the wedding. So her mom's going to meet her to pick up a bouquet, and Rob's not going to help. He just drops her off. So she says they're not, that mom and Rob are not really getting along. So she's just trying to focus on her and Rob and just getting through to the wedding. So Sophie tells the lady at the flower shop the colors are pink and blue. So the lady shows her some hot pink flowers, and mom goes, "I thought it was like baby pink." She was like, "I don't know. His sister's planning the wedding. Rob's got the pictures." And mom's like, "Did Rob drop you off here?" She says, "Yeah." She was like, "This would have been nice for him to just pop his head in and say hello. So everything doesn't have to be awkward. He's so immature." And Sophie's like, "Okay, just want to pick out the flowers. Just want to pick out the flowers." So mom's asked her if she knows the story about the frog and the prince. And she goes, after the wedding, he's not going to turn into Prince Charming. He's still going to be a frog. And I think
That's
he's going
how the
to,
story goes.
I don't think it has anything to do with the wedding.
It doesn't. You kiss a lot of frogs and then you find one that turns into a prince.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. And she says, she thinks Rob eventually is going to let her down. And then mom says, I know once I get back to Mexico, I'll get a call from Sophie. Does mom live in Mexico?
Well, she did for a while. They were all kind of hanging out there.
Yeah.
She came to live with them. What is the mom's life even?
I don't know.
She's living it up though. She's like retired, even though she's like 50.
I
I
mean,
love it.
she's getting lip filler. She lives in
Yeah.
Mexico.
She talks about sticking an epidural in the middle of her forehead.
That was strange.
That was an odd metaphor.
So now they're at room. And
It'll never not be funny.
that's where they are. They're at room. And they're packing to get ready to go to Santa Barbara. That's where the wedding will be. It's in a few days. So she's hoping her mom and Rob can get along. Now, I did not understand this because they're going to Santa Barbara the next day. Mom is coming over to spend the night at room. Why?
Could she not afford the hotel for one more night? I don't understand.
I did not understand
very
this.
far apart though, so maybe she accidentally got a room. Or she got a room in a hotel that was too far, and now she wants to leave with them in the morning, so it's going to be early. So would rather sleep on an air mattress in room with no indoor bathroom.
I didn't understand this because she
at
said
a
something.
lovely hotel. I don't.
Mom was going to Uber to the wedding. I thought she said. I was like,
so she's going separately, anyways.
it made somebody help me make it make sense because I didn't. Usually I watch it twice. I only had a chance to watch it once, and I was like, rewind. What?
If
didn't
they don't
understand.
want to spend the night before the wedding together for like
Mhm.
tradition, then she should go with the mom to a hotel
Right. Oops, sorry, I just whacked my computer.
with your giant Stanley
With
cup.
my giant Stanley cup.
Is that 3 gallons? Sophie, it's as big as Sophie's jug. Sophie has one of those Crystal Geyser giant plastic jugs that's
Yeah.
literally like 2.5 gallons or 3
Mm.
gallons, and she's drinking out of it like it's her cup.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
well hydrated, that girl.
I am that stupid SNL skit with the cups. Okay. I can't help myself. So, okay, blah, blah. Okay, now lost my train of thought completely.
I'm sorry, did you bring up the RC Cola vending machine, or were you going to do that later that you texted me?
I sent you a picture and said, look at this beautiful courtyard. When did they add a vending machine?
It looks to be out of service, and they've taped over the logo on the front because product placement. And so, but it looks very cheap, like RC Cola or something generic. And there's a stationary bike out there too.
Yes, they had those giant spools that look like something you would have. Like, what was that book that we used to read? That was the mouse. Timmy
Stuart Little.
Stuart Little, thank you. Okay, so those big things they have look like Stuart Little's tables with the spools of thread, and they would use that as their table.
Yeah,
that's what those big things they have that look like they roll up wire or something.
Yes, no,
that's what
those
they
are
have.
very in, I think.
That's what they have out there, but they've moved it out of the way for the stationary bike that looks like it's from 1946.
Yeah, it looks like you'd fall over if you sat on it. It's
and
not
a vending machine.
And a vending machine.
Is this because the landlord's like, your room is also my storage unit? Like, what's happening?
I still don't understand if they share that bathroom, if they share that courtyard. No one is ever out there but them. So is it just a private courtyard? Because then I kind of get it, but still to walk outside to the bathroom, I don't get. What
I don't
is
understand
I
any
gotta
of it.
go scope it out. It can't be that far from me.
How can we find it?
Someone
Just
I
go on
bet has
Reddit.
found it. I'm sure someone on Reddit has found it.
Yeah. Can we do that when I come to LA? That would literally make me so happy if we found it.
Sure. Of all this.
Yes.
90 day. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's talk to Matt about that. Let's get that on the books. Okay. Okay. So mom comes over and she's immediately like, with her suitcases, and Rob starts to get out an air mattress and she says something. He goes, hey, while you're here, you just keep the not enough space jokes to a minimum. And she's like, you know what, Rob? I'm willing to forget everything that's happened. I don't even need an apology, but I just arrived and then you sat on bed and I don't need to be here. And you acted like you do me a favor. I could go to a hotel. Then why aren't you?
Why aren't you at a hotel?
Why?
You were at a hotel.
You were at a Hampton Inn. It was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So they go outside and mom goes, can we just go to a hotel, Soph? Can we just go to a hotel? And she goes, no, I'm staying with Rob. We're about to get married. So Rob blows up the bed. At one point, they go, I wonder what that sound is. Oh, it's Rob blowing up the bed. So he says, look, I'm not going to get along with her, but I'll just do something welcoming. I'll blow up the bed for her. And she, outside, she goes, you know what? I handled that wrong. When I'm uncomfortable, I get prickly and I'm uncomfortable.
Good for her.
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth. We don't know if they've been sitting out there for 2 hours or 20 minutes. So
right. She's done more in that 20 minutes than Rob has ever done, which is admitting he made a mistake.
That's right. But he is going to try to be nice. So they go inside and she's like, look, you got it all set up like a hotel. He's got the little sheets folded back for her and everything. And then she says, Rob, are you excited about being a husband? And he goes, yeah, it's all I've ever wanted my whole life. Really? Really? Okay. And then mom goes, okay, everybody, good night. I was like, they're literally
in the same room,
going on the other side of a hanging rack. Yeah. Mom says good night like she's going 4 rooms over. Like, I'll see you in the West Wing in the morning. Like,
I understand.
That was it.
One of them's going to have to crawl over her to go outside to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Somebody's going to trip over her for sure.
Uh-huh.
For sure. Okay. So next week on 90 Day Fiance, it looks like a Category 5 hurricane coming through Florida. And Ashley's mom is telling her to calm down. They're in the car and she starts yelling and announcing her ugly crying while everybody else in the car looks around nervously and laughs.
This is the 3rd time she has been like, I'm ugly. I'm literally ugly crying right now. I'm literally having a panic attack right now. I can't breathe. I am literally ugly crying.
She's going, honey.
She's giving birth. Then the faces her family and friends are making, they just like rolling their eyes. They're just like, don't know what to do.
They're blatantly laughing.
They just start laughing. Oh God, I would too.
And then we see Manuel on the beach going, Dios mío. It's getting rained on at the beach. Like, oh my God.
And she's like covered in crystals on those. She has the halo of crystals, and
she's
they're
like
not
a lightning rod
her at all.
She better watch out.
Yeah,
lightning's going to catch those crystals.
Yep.
So Sam sets up a bed with rose petals and is lounging on it, like we saw Clayton do that one time, trying to look sexy, like lounging on the bed.
Not doing cheeky wiggle butt, guinea pig butt. So he has a better chance of getting laid.
And he says, is this what you've been waiting for, baby? And she's like, oh my God. And the talking head, he says, there was a buildup and the pipes finally burst.
Oh my God.
So thanks. And then after they do the deed, she tells Sam, so you have court in a couple of days. How's that going to go? Rob pops some champagne and spills it on his pants. And sorry about that. Sophie says, what if it's the wrong decision? And then her mom is telling her to take deep breaths, and they walk off in the wrong direction away from the wedding ceremony.
I don't know if that's a Matt Sharp fake out or what, but it looks like they're like running from the wedding, and he's like, they're walking in the wrong direction. And then we see the mom far away in the distance, and she shrugs at Rob like, I don't know where she is.
That's a fake out.
It has to be a fake out.
Okay.
But I wish it's not. Hashtag save Sophie, please.
Nikki goes to film, and the producers are there, and she says all of her money and all of her heart was invested in Justin, planning for the future, but he's had it with the fights, and so he's broken up with her, I guess. No surprise. Anali isn't sure she's making the right choice. We get a shot of a suitcase, and then we see Clayton still standing at the altar. I think they get married. I think it's a Matt Sharp fake out.
I'm beginning to think you're right. I just hope that it is not a fake out. I don't want any of these couples to get married.
Let's talk about the couples and decide if we want them to get married. Okay, Justin and Nikki.
Absolutely not. She might be a nightmare on her own. I know she has a lot of stuff in her history. She built that roommate out of like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her, but she deserves better. She deserves someone who loves her whole self.
Right. Agree. And he deserves to find somebody that he's not going to be icked out by.
Yeah, and is submissive and whatever he wants.
And he wants a submissive and Moldovan. Anali and Clayton, do we think they should get married, and do we think they will get married?
I think there's something going on with the dad and something why she wouldn't have sex with him the whole time she was here, except for like
Mhm.
once. There's just something that's not right. And there's something with him. He has a weird history with like girls. I don't know. I just don't know. But
Okay.
maybe she's the only one who likes his cheeky stuff, although she
But
doesn't appear to really like
she
it,
doesn't
but
appear
she
to like it.
tolerates it. But I
Yeah.
bet there's a furry out there who's watching the show and is like, "He's my dream man."
I know. And what if his girlfriend's got a
Oh,
friend?
that would be so cute. They could
Yeah,
double.
they
Yeah.
could double. Citra and Sam, we know they do get married. Should they be married? Unclear. I did see a
I'm rooting
post
for
that
them.
she did, a post about him saying he's been clean for a long time. And, we're tired of people commenting on it. He's been clean for a long time. And then basically, like, the bitch set him up, basically, is what she's saying about his former coworker that he got caught with the drugs with. Like, it had nothing to do with him or whatever. Basically,
Hmm.
basically, that was
I'm not sure I
her.
buy that, but I am rooting for them.
Yes,
I think
we
they're
have to.
very, very cute together.
I think they are too. I think they're a good match. They get each other's stupid poop joke humor.
Mhm.
Sophie and Robert, I think they do get married. I do not think they should be married.
No, I'm worried for her. At first, I thought she was just like wanted to be an influencer and wanted to be
Mhm.
in LA more than she wanted to be with Rob.
Yeah.
But now I'm just concerned about him. I think they're very toxic.
Did you see that very long video she posted about her hair? A very long
No.
TikTok explaining that she bought that wig she has is very super expensive. But
What?
because before she left England to come to the States, she was letting she had dyed it like platinum blonde for so long. So she was letting it start to grow out, and then it started coming out in clumps.
Oh,
And then she cut it short, and even after that, it started coming out in clumps. So she was just wearing that wig to protect what was left.
yeah, that's rough.
Um, and so she said she like still even now with her hair growing back in, it has started to come out in clumps, and it was stress related.
Oh, I'm sure. Like Jasmine
Yeah.
has stress related
Yes.
alopecia too.
Yes. So her
And I know
hair.
she's biracial and that's a whole different hair texture than I understand.
Yes, and she said, and she was trying to dye it blonde. She doesn't know why. She dyed her hairs every color under the sun, had never had a problem.
Mm,
But once it was dyed that platinum, and then she tried to keep it up, and then she was moving to the States, the
yeah,
stress of it all started just falling out.
yeah. She's
So
still beautiful.
she's beautiful with either color, and her hair now looks so long that I don't know if it's been so long
Extension.
that her hair's grown in that thick or she's wearing extensions or what.
That
But
she's
either
right.
way, she's pretty, and I think she does just wanna be an influencer, and that's fine because I like to look at her. I'll be
That's fine.
influenced.
And just because she wants to be the new Kardashian or whatever, she still deserves a person who treats her nicely. She's asking for very little. So,
Yes, I agree, and Rob can be as good looking as he wants, but he's
mhm,
still a
ugly
dick.
on the inside. Yeah.
That's right, but he apparently has some kinda job because whenever he posts, he's always wearing a shirt with, like, looks like he works for some delivering coffee or something.
Interesting.
Like he drives a truck and delivers the Pete's coffee to the places, I don't know.
Huh.
Not Pete's, I don't mean to besmirch Pete's
Right.
coffee,
Yeah.
it's somebody else. Um, so it'll be very interesting to see if they get married and if they're still together by the time their reunion rolls around, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm curious if they are and she'll still be defending him, and then the mom will come on and criticize how he treats her, and then
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine hates when girls are treated badly by men, like, that's one of her trigger things on
Mhm.
the reunions, so she will go off on him. I'm foreseeing this for his behavior, even though she's a nightmare on her own, but she is very good at criticizing other people's behavior.
So my thought is we will have, the finale will be on the 18th of February, and then we'll have 3
No, that's
episodes.
tonight.
Yeah, I know. I think that'll be the finale tonight.
Oh, the finale before the tell-all. I got you.
And then we'll have three-part tell-all, which will be, February 25th, March 3rd, and 10th, and then we'll start Happily Ever After on the 17th. That's my prediction.
Interesting. Wish they would tell you.
If I just asked, I would know the answer, but I
Yeah,
haven't asked, so I don't know the answer. I'm just guessing.
it's fun to
But
guess.
anyway, you guys, we'll be right here on the Tuesday spot of Pink Shade. to keep you abreast of everything that's going on. We'll see what happens next week. I don't know anything. I haven't watched ahead. So we'll see.
That was funny in the screener that you sent, and it had the Shutterfly, whatever logo, not Shutterfly,
Shutterstock. Mhm.
Shutterstock. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. So the screeners that we got this past week were really raw
Rough.
footage.
Yeah.
They hadn't taken out any background noise. Like you could tell, like the sound hadn't been fixed. And then on the one picture of the outside of Jasmine and Gino's house was a Shutterstock logo. So obviously that's not where they live.
I didn't think he lived there. It looked way
No.
too nice on the outside.
Because, I had the bunkie that sent the picture across the street seeing Jasmine going in and out of the mailbox.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it didn't look like it was a townhouse situation like that at all.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like right now I'm watching Love is Blind, and they've moved into their houses that they're living in, when they move in together for the 3 weeks or whatever.
I
And they
never
keep
seen
showing these shots, and I'm like, they don't live there.
that. Mm-mm.
That's
I mean, for
fake.
safety purposes, they shouldn't show anyone's house.
Yeah, I know. I heard Sheena of Vanderpump Rules say that one time, that the first couple of seasons that they would show it was the exterior of the buildings where they lived. But like on the third or fourth season, they changed it. She was like, not like people couldn't go back and look at it like they knew where we lived. I do a great Sheena with my sinus infection.
You do. It's fabulous.
Just gotta lean into the nasal.
And now I get it, because now I'm like, know who people are on that show. Finally.
I watched, I don't know if you got to watch The Golden Crappies.
No, I'm so mad. I was going to buy tickets and go, and then I didn't. I literally sat and did diamond paintings at my apartment instead of getting off my butt and going.
Well, you can still buy it
Yeah.
on Moment. I watched it this morning. Just so good. So good. So Matt and Jake go on and they do the in memoriam segment. So they sang Berlin, Take My Breath Away, because that was a plot point from the season of Beverly Hills, with Berlin, the actual Berlin singing Take My Breath Away.
Are you serious?
Ladies and gentlemen, Berlin. Yes. So that was hilarious. And then Ryan Bailey was on with Kate Casey, and
I
she was
saw the
drunk.
picture. Oh, she was.
She was, which was, I mean, if anybody knows Kate and has listened to her, that's really not her at all. She was
Oh my God, I love
wasted.
it.
She had been at a frat party with like her niece. Yes.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. Hilarious. They had a lot of Danny Pellegrino was on. He was funny, calling everybody a demon, just being funny. The whole thing was really, really great. So I sent Ronnie a text this morning and said, I don't care if I have to come and be Matt's wig wrangler.
Yeah.
Or if I just sit in the audience and cheer. I am coming next year. I will come, just sit and enjoy it, because it's so funny.
Yeah.
But Sheena opened it up. That's why I'm talking
so
about
good.
Sheena, because she's like, I'm here to present an award. And then when they're like, who do you think is going to win? She's like, well, you told me it was me, and that's why I'm here. So funny. Oh, God, you guys, I can't listen to myself another second. Kimberly and Katie have a podcast called A Date with Dateline. It's really great. I watched this weekend the one about Remy, hoping you guys are going to cover it. It is an old one, but there was an update to it.
Correct. Yes. We did the old one in 2018.
Remy, he's really something, huh? I'd seen it before. I'd kind of forgotten about old Remy. Remy is real weird.
He's real weird. He thinks he's very charismatic and charming. And he brought up the now infamous debate over whether I'm allowed to body shame a killer on Dateline. And
okay.
Katie said, no, I'm not allowed to. And
Disagree.
He was the one that started it. And it wasn't so much body shaming. It was like, he said he was running a marathon every other weekend for a year.
Yeah.
And had like a normal spare tire situation.
And
yeah. I just didn't buy it, because he wasn't training all those hours. He was having an affair with his wife's best friend. And so I think it came off as body shaming. I apologize. I have a huge spare tire, but I also don't claim to run marathons.
Right.
I'm sure there are marathon runners in any size and shape. And it's for everybody. But I did not buy that he was training all week and running marathons every weekend. And it turns out he wasn't. He was murdering his wife, I think.
Well, that was my question. So where did you guys ever land on if you thought he did it or not? Because he claims he didn't.
And I haven't seen this new update yet, but my listeners seem to still be convinced that he did it. So
His personality is he is so much exactly like the adoptive dad of Natalia Grace.
yes,
They are the same person.
yes, they think they are so charming. They are on all the time. They're like, I'm an adult theater major. This
Yes.
is my personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just so over the top because he's like, prison's great. Are you kidding me? It's so easy. It's amazing. Everybody should go to prison. Like, what are you talking about, you weirdo?
And they always pair jackasses like that with Andrea, and Andrea takes them down because they're never expecting it.
At one point, she's like, what are you talking about? Like, he's talking and she goes, seriously, what are you even saying? Like, she's like, she's like, you're not even making sense, man.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you guys.
He's high on himself like the whole time. That's sort of the vibe he gives off. I'm just high on myself. I'm so great. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
other people thought he was charming too. That's the weird part. It's what I don't understand. Is other people thought he was charming and he was getting the ladies. This beautiful best friend who's gorgeous. I don't know how she still looks, but she was gorgeous in the original episode.
she looked great. And his wife was perfectly cute as well.
Totally. But she got into a deep video game obsession, right? If I
Yes.
remember correctly,
Yes.
like
Yes.
fell into like I am with diamond painting.
Yeah.
She fell into that and sort of disappeared into
Yeah.
your fantasy game.
It's like I am with Sneaky Sasquatch.
Exactly.
I get into it. I'm like, I'm going to the hospital. I'm a doctor. I have patients to cure. The Sasquatch doctor is busy.
Is that one of the plot lines in it?
That's the latest update is that you're a doctor. And so I've moved up from driving the ambulance to now to getting my paramedic license. And then I became a junior doctor and now I'm junior head doctor.
Junior doctor.
So I'm junior head doctor now.
Junior head doctor.
Well, I used to have to consult the online doctor for everything. Like I would talk to the patient and then I would have to talk to the online doctor and they would tell you could go to the pharmacy and get this, or your patient needs right leg surgery and you would take it to the take it to the operating room and say, my patient needs right leg, my patient needs right leg surgery. And they'd be like, one right leg surgery coming up. And then the guy would walk out from the surgery and be like, I feel better now. Thanks, Dr. Junior Head Doctor. But now I don't have to consult the online doctor. I can just make my own decisions.
Wow.
Yeah. I get paid $500 for every patient I cure.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's not enough money.
I don't
Yeah.
see the game on my phone. Is it possible it's not on Droids? That is
It's an Apple Arcade game, Kate.
Oh, I
almost
can't
called you
do
Katie.
it.
Kimberly, you can't play it. You can play it on your if you have an iCloud account or whatever, you can play it on your Mac. A lot of people
Okay.
play on their computer. I'm
On
like,
your computer.
how would you do it?
Wow.
I'm so used to doing it with my finger. I guess you do it with your mouse pad. I don't know.
Okay, this is so funny. Okay,
Sneaky
why aren't we
Sasquatch.
sponsoring you? Because we had Best Fiends for a long time, and I was really, really into it. And then we had June's Journey, and I got
Yeah.
into that. I wish this Sasquatch game would sponsor you.
Well, they're Apple Arcade. They don't need me.
They don't need you.
It's me and a bunch of 12-year-olds playing it. But I'm telling you, there's a whole Reddit thing. Like I literally look on Reddit. I look up like 90 Day News, Love After Lockup News, Jeff Lewis Live Gossip, and Sneaky Sasquatch. That's all I look at.
I love it. I'm not going to tell you what mine are 'cause mine are very embarrassing. But one of them is now diamond painting.
Will you please send me an example of diamond painting because I'm so interested in it.
Yes,
now.
I will send you the picture that I did. It's amazing.
Can you make my logo?
I probably could. Yeah.
I
Totally.
mean, it's only 3 colors.
Yeah, I mean that's
Four.
the hard part is you have to like simplify it because they will send it with like all the gradients and then you'll have like 50 colors to work with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely do that.
Mine's only 4. Hot pink, black, that yellow color of
When
my
you
hair.
upload it to the thing, it might
Yeah.
make it. I'll play around with it. I could
Okay.
totally do that.
Are you putting these on Etsy? Are you making them and putting them on Etsy?
No, but I was thinking of like sending them to Patreons, you know, like because I was making these little coasters with owls on them, and I thought, oh, this would be cute to like if I sent it or some of our Patreons little gifties. I don't know. If I could
How
get
many
a
would you have to
logo-
make? You'd have to make so many.
I know, but I could get really into it and make like little logos of ours, but it's hard. Our logo's too complicated to fit on a little logo.
Yeah, it's got that skyline on it.
Yeah. So if anyone
Wow.
has any ideas of simplifying it so that I could do little small ones for Patreons, I would totally do that. Because then it's like a purpose. But that's my problem. I turn every craft into like a business, like
Yeah.
I did with my knitting and I did with my cross stitching. And so
What
I
was before cross stitching?
knitting, I had a knitting business, and
You did.
yeah, I would sell it like craft fairs and
Really?
yeah, I sold at the Sawdust Festival in Laguna, and so
Oh, the
and this was
Sawdust
like
Festival.
right.
Everybody knows
Oh,
about that.
sorry, it's a big festival, and yeah, and then my cross stitch company I had for like I still have it. I put it on hold, but it's been like 13 years or something. So
Wow.
yeah, and then I stopped last year because I was getting too stressed. But
I always thought I wanted to learn how to knit because it seemed like a thing everybody was doing for a while. But then I thought, nah. I
I
mean,
taught myself in college and I got really into it. Yeah.
so my husband's nephew's wife. So figure that out. Anyway, she is incredible. The stuff that she does, she'll be knitting. I'm like, what's that? And she'll just like hold it out and be like, oh, okay. It's like something you would buy in a store. Like what she does is
Oh, yeah.
incredible. She's so good.
Hmm.
She does like Missoni patterned like socks.
Wow. Yeah.
She'll be like, oh, this is
And does she sell them or does she make them for people?
I don't think she sells them, but it'll look like Missoni pants, like pants. Like, I mean, stuff that she makes is incredible. And I'm always like, wow, she
That's
just does it for
impressive.
fun. Yeah. Crafty. I'm not crafty.
Yeah, I
Not
am crafty. Yeah.
I know. I love that.
Yeah. I have a
Um,
lot of nervous hand energy because I always bite my nails really badly. So it's
okay.
good for me to have things to do.
I love that for you.
Thanks.
All right. Is there any Etsy shop you'd like to plug?
My shop is called Stitches Be Crazy, and Crazy's with a K for Kimberly, but it's on hiatus right now. But it might come back. You never know.
Stitches Be Crazy with a K.
Yeah, and I do like happy effing holidays and like ornaments or like,
Yeah.
damn, it feels good to be a gangster, like in a frame cross
Uh-huh.
stuff like that.
Oh, the more you know.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Who knew I had all these side hustles?
Everybody this week on Shades of Bravo, I will have Meredith Constant, who is the normal weekend guest. She asked specifically to please come on and talk about Bravo. So I said, all right, sure.
Love it.
We could double dip you. It's fine. Then I'm going to have Brian Moylan after that. And looking for other Bravo guests. So if anybody has suggestions, let me know. And I will very happily talk to you next week for what I believe will be the finale of 90 Day Fiance.
It has to be. There's nothing more.
Nothing more.
Unless
We're down to the weddings.
To Piggy and Devin and
No, they're gone.
They're gone.
We'll never see them again. I wonder if they're even come to the reunion.
Oh, that would God.
They have to sit there all that time and be like, we have nothing to talk
We have
about.
nothing to talk about except Jasmine's going to yell at him for calling her Piggy.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, we'll end it on that note. All right. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.